we're here on the second day of Identity Week America 2025. I'm joined now by Mike Slaw, who's the principal engineer for information systems, IM at Amazon Business. It's really great to speak to you today, and I believe it's your first time.
Yeah, it's my first time here. Yeah, it's great to be here.
Brilliant. Could you tell me a bit about kind of how you've designed identity security with passkeys into the Amazon business?
Yeah, so we look at authentication as kind of two separate things. First is the authentication event that kind of gets you in the door, and then we always look at continual risk assessing of that particular session as we go in. So, we look at risk signals when you log in to make sure that we've got a real high confidence that you are who you claim to be. And then after that, we're still looking at the session. We're looking at different risk indicators to see if anything has changed during that session, so that we understand who it is that we're working with, so that we can provide great service after they authenticate.
And this is really important because you've got to protect the identities of over 1 billion Amazon user accounts. How do you go about that, and what are the challenges that come with protecting data at that scale?
Yeah, so at Amazon we have over 1 billion consumer accounts out there, and that usually means you're dealing at a global scale when you're dealing with that many user accounts. And so we are always looking to find new, easy ways to authenticate that are secure, that provide security to our users that are out there. And a lot of times, looking out at the global population, I will say that there are certain areas that have different challenges in there. For example, in North America, we're very ingrained in passwords. We like our passwords, we use passwords all the time, and it's hard to get consumers in North America to not use a password and to move to something different. But when you start looking at other markets that maybe their internet usage has kind of evolved with the growth of mobile networks, we find that those populations are much easier to use their phone to authenticate and to get stronger methods of authentication that's in there. So we're always looking for we're constantly looking for ways that make authentication seamless yet secure, so that we can benefit our global consumer base.
And how do you kind of increase adoption of passkeys across those geographies? Like you mentioned, the different marketplaces that you might be seeing differences.
Yeah, so the first thing that we do is we educate our customers about what a passkey is and why they want a passkey and why it's beneficial for them to have a passkey. And we do that through a series of nudges when they're interacting with us on the website, where we'll look and see and say, hey, now we feel like it's a good point, you've completed your business that you're doing, that we can say, hey, why don't you consider adding a passkey to your account? And so we've worked on the language, on what makes sense to those consumers. And we also worked on the timing of when we nudge people into doing that. And that has provided great success in helping our customers to adopt passkeys, adopt this secure yet easy way to authenticate to our website.
And across the industry now, passwords are really the old, and passkeys are coming in, replacing them a lot. With the emergence of generative AI, what are the threats and opportunities shaping the identity verification landscape?
So with generative AI, there's, like everything, the threat actors out there are evolving. They're getting better, and we're getting better at stopping them. Generative AI is just another tool that allows them to get better at what they do. And a good example is we used to tell people, when you're evaluating whether or not an email is a phishing email or not, what did we say? Look for grammatical errors in there. And that was always a pretty good sign that this might be a phishing email. But now with generative AI, it allows these bad actors, these fraudsters, to create an email that's in perfect English. And so now you just have to be hyper diligent in looking at and understanding who it is you're interacting with, whether it's through email, through text messaging, through voicemails, even in person. But one thing, Evie, I'll say about generative AI, yes, we see the bad actors are using that, but guess what? So are we. Bad actors, they like to hide within large amounts of data, and they like to kind of go under the radar. But guess what's good at finding anomalies inside large data sets? AI. And so we get to use AI in order to find these new fraud mechanisms, and we get to level up our skills in finding and fighting fraud in order to do that.
Absolutely. We just need to make sure we're ahead of the fraudsters, I think, with that. There's lots of industries that are also adopting, these technologies, financial services, especially. What lessons can we take from e-commerce platforms, take from finance, which informs your work at Amazon?
Yeah, so one thing that financial services do really well is identity verification, right? They have a lot of know your customer requirements that they have to do so that they really understand who it is that they're doing business to. And that's largely driven through a regulatory environment that they have towards financial institutions. We don't have that yet for e-commerce, but what we can do is we can take advantage of some of the tools and techniques that they have developed within financial services and apply it to e-commerce so that we really have a better understanding of who we're doing business with. And that way we can provide customized solutions, we can provide better risk protection, and overall more security for those customers and those interactions.
It's really interesting to hear your perspective. I hope you enjoy meeting everyone here who's come to Identity Week.
All right, it's been great. I've enjoyed my time here.